east and follow the Asian dream. Intertwining economies, interlinked destinies, and creating an arc of prosperity across the region, India's Look East policy is set to scale new heights in days to come. After putting India's South Asia diplomacy in high gear, the new government in Delhi is looking east as External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj heads to Myanmar to participate in India-ASEAN Ministerial Meeting, ASEAN Regional Forum Meeting, and East Asia Summit Ministerial Meeting. This cluster of meetings will set the tone and tenor for the visit of India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Myanmar in November for the India-ASEAN Summit and East Asia Summit. The meetings will put the spotlight on India's blossoming ties with ASEAN and the larger East Asia region, home to some of the world's fastest growing economies. Launched in the early 1990s, India's Look East policy had now acquired substantive economic and strategic weight.
India's Look East policy has had a natural progression. It essentially began as an India-Singapore policy. Originally, when Narasimha Rao and Goh Chok Tong came together and signed a cooperative relationship between India and Singapore, our Look East meant looking to Singapore. Then our Look East became looking to ASEAN. Then our Look East became looking to Korea and Japan. Therefore, there's been a progression.
Nearly 2 years ago, in December 2012, the leaders of India and the ASEAN gathered in the Indian capital, Delhi, to celebrate two defining milestones in their relationship: the 20th anniversary of India's sectoral dialogue partnership with the ASEAN and the 10th anniversary of their annual summits. India-ASEAN ties have now entered a new high-speed phase, which experts are calling enhanced Look East policy.
If we take Madame Sushma Swaraj's visit to Myanmar, and this would be followed up, as you have already rightly indicated, by the visit of the Prime Minister for participation in the meetings in November. I think taken these two things together, this would put a very focused light on the advancement that India's Look East policy has been making. I think this is a policy which has been aptly described as the cornerstone of India's foreign policy. This is anchored in strong national consensus. The policy began in the times of Prime Minister Narasimha Rao. It received a major fillip during the tenure of the first NDA government under Prime Minister Vajpayee, and then it was moved forward during the tenure of Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. So, I have a very clear perception that now it would be not merely the phase of consolidation, but further expansion and deepening.
Economically, the India-ASEAN relations have acquired an unstoppable momentum. The India-ASEAN trade has crossed $80 billion. The signing of a free trade area in goods in 2009 was a game changer of sorts, and now the two sides are looking to sign the India-ASEAN Free Trade Agreement on services and investments. With the institutional framework in place, the two sides are now confident of scaling bilateral trade to $100 billion by 2015 and double that volume to $200 billion by 2022. In recent years, India has taken a host of steps to galvanize relations with this economically vibrant region, which includes the setting up of an Indian mission to the ASEAN in Jakarta. The two sides have opened new vistas of cooperation on cross-cutting security issues like terrorism, climate change, nuclear proliferation, piracy, and maritime security. India has consistently pitched for freedom of navigation, which has received across-the-board endorsement from ASEAN nations and the East Asia Summit process. On these transnational issues, India is not only active on the ASEAN track, but has also been a proactive participant in shaping discourse on these issues in the ASEAN Regional Forum and the East Asia Summit process.
The biggest issue is the question of security architecture in Southeast Asia, and EAS, the East Asia Summit, is being made as the basic fundamental principle of that, and we have accepted that ASEAN should continue to play a greater role in that.
Connectivity is a reigning mantra as India deepens its diplomatic, economic and cultural ties with its extended neighborhood. India has vigorously backed fast-tracking a host of connectivity projects that will quicken regional integration. The Tamu-Kalewa-Kalemio sector of the India-Myanmar-Thailand Trilateral Highway is progressing well, and the completion of this project in 2016 is poised to create a new dynamic in India's multifaceted ties with the region. Enhancing connectivity to Southeast Asia is critical to unlocking the economic energies and enterprise of India's northeastern states which border the region. Connectivity is not just physical. What animates India's engagement with the region are cultural and spiritual connections. It is from India Buddhism flowed to Southeast Asian countries as Buddhists from all over the region flock for pilgrimage to revered shrines like Bodh Gaya, the place where Lord Buddha attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. The revival of Nalanda University, an ancient seat of learning, had now become a showpiece project of ASEAN and epitomizes deeper cultural and spiritual linkages between India and Southeast Asia. Underpinning this cultural alchemy and an intricate web of rail, road and maritime links is a soaring vision of an Asian century that is becoming increasingly real with the ongoing shift of economic gravity from the north to the south and the west to the east. There is a lot at stake in the flowering of the Asian dream. In the end, it's about surging hopes and aspirations of 1.8 billion people of India and the ASEAN region who are itching to carve their place in a changing world. The world is in a flux and many equations may change, but the India-ASEAN ties will not only endure but look set to cross new milestones in days to come.